But also, Angela, these are all Hollywood people, right?
Yeah.
I've spent loads of time working in Hollywood.
So that was a f***ing lie.
They are as fake as you can possibly get. All of those people, apart from Doria, who's obviously a different kettle of fish, but all of those other people you've mentioned have huge amounts to gain through a relationship with Harry. So it's not a genuine relationship at all. They are yes men. They are people there to serve because they want royal connections.
And people will think that they're very important because they know Prince Harry. It's actually, you can gain on that in a whole sort of field.
Are you serious?
If you are a friend of Harry's, then people let you have tables in the best dining room and all sorts of nonsense like that.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
That's how they feel that they are close to the royal family or close to Harry. And of course they are, but you can't go beyond a certain mark. You can say, marvelous friend of mine, I really like you, it's great. But you don't start saying you're a father figure, you're a brother, and you're a mother.
But do you think psychologically, Angela, given how much he is struggling at the moment, and obviously that's something we've documented now over a number of weeks, that it's almost about convincing himself because he's lost his real father effectively, hasn't he? There's no close relationship anymore. Very often, as you've reported before, Charles doesn't even pick up the phone to him now. And William doesn't want anything to do with him.
Boring.
So I guess it's almost like enforced that he's had to try and find some sort of new father figure and brother because he's lost his blood relatives, even though they're alive, which is just so horrendous.
So that was a f***ing lie.
Yes, it's difficult. I don't know exactly, but my instinct says that they don't go anywhere deeply within him. I think he remembers so much about his mother still. He still thinks about her a great deal. I can't think he would ever consider having a substitute for her, whoever it was, even if it's his mother-in-law, or certainly not if it's his mother-in-law.
Boring.
And I think that nobody gets lower. That's why he's so miserable and looks so unhappy, because he's not really loved at the moment by the people who he wants to love him. But he's a fool, because how can he expect that if he's so rude about them and so hurtful? I think he doesn't feel, somebody told me very recently, who knows him well, somebody said that he doesn't think he's ever wrong. And
Are you serious?
he doesn't think he's done, and he can't understand why they don't warm towards him. I know other people like that. They just can't see, because they've said it. They then want to move on. It's something awful. They want to move on.
Okay.
But actually, the individual they've really hurt can't do that. And why should they? It's a very peculiar way, but a lot of people are like that. They feel, well, that's done now, but it's not done now. It's there for a very long time.
Boring.
And he hasn't been able to make it better. I mean, when his first 30th birthday, he said he's committed to make the world a better place. Now, he might have money, he might have energy, but it's a nonsense thing to say.
Yeah, boy.
Because he finds everything very difficult, and you can't be sort of it's not a fairy tale that you're going to make the world a better place. What he needs to do is to make his own life better and apologize and behave properly and not attack your family. And I think that's something he doesn't feel right. There's no point doing the world, because the world is full of people, and the people inside the world need to have an idea of what's right and what's wrong, but he doesn't seem to have that. And to do what he's done to his family, I find profoundly unhappy.
Oh, I couldn't agree more, Angela. Beautifully put. And actually, if we just take one look again at that photograph
Okay.
of Harry in the car, last night, because the more I think about it, Angela, the more it sums up their relationship. Look, there's Meghan, happy, maybe a bit tipsy, as you say, loving the fact that she's been papped on the way into a big celebrity event and she's going to be hanging around Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King and all of that lot again. And there's Harry next to her, utterly miserable, stone-faced, recording members of the paparazzi to try and prove his ridiculous point that he's stalked and harassed at all times. I just think that's such a sad portrait of the man at 40 years old, isn't it? The man who has everything, but actually still seems emotionally to have nothing.
That doesn't make sense.
The interesting thing is it's not just him there with Meghan. There's lots of well-known people there. There's, Oprah and all sorts of people who are there, and they might not necessarily want to take him at all. Photographers stand up there and snap, hoping they get loads of pictures for anybody.
Yeah, it's not just about you, Harry.
It's not exactly. It's not just about you, Harry.
Yes, exactly.
But he's anxious about that.
I know, it's like you're going to an A-list Hollywood party attended by lots of A-listers, including Oprah Winfrey. The photographers would be there whether you were there or not, Harry.
Yes.
But I don't know. It just summed up so much to me, Andrew. It's like he can never let go. He can never just relax. He can never just have fun anymore. And actually, that's a really horrible way to live. Are
you serious?
It's someone who is consumed by negativity.
Yeah, you would think, though, actually, but what he said was that having become a father, he absolutely loves it. He absolutely loves being with his children. That's all he wanted there. As I said just before, there's the people who have helped him to have a lovely party will help him at that time.
Nice.
But
we never see
what he see? No, I think when you're a father yourself, or a mother yourself, you then realize how your mother or your father behaved with you and how important it is to make your relationship much better, because, teenagers are tricky and difficult and argue. And I think that once you've experienced this, you then understand what being a parent is to a child, and you then try and behave in a much better way. You understand it. But it means that he's now emotionally engaged to his two children. That's lovely.
Good job.
But he can't see that his father has adored him. And it's just the fact that he's been so awful to him that he's cut him off. It's not because he's not been welcoming a son. And it's the same with William. I mean, they adored each other. Harry told me that, they can't separate. They're the people, they trust each other. They're the only people they trust, and they adore him. He told me that he wanted to really help his father. He thinks he's a marvelous man. And, now he's got those children, it should suddenly open up. It's amazing. It opens up to you.
Boy.
And you think, good heavens.
I suspect she must now know that the party is over. I was told that she has been bouncing off the walls with her behavior and with anxiety. And I'm pretty sure that she does know that the party's over.
Lady Colin Campbell, great to have you. Goodness me, it has all gone so wrong for Meghan in terms of this.
Wait for it.
Fight back over the revelations in the Hollywood Reporters. I've been desperate to talk to you about this, but as a very quick rundown, you will know, obviously, the Hollywood Reporter describes her as a dictator in high heels, speaks to 12 current and former staff members, not in the UK, but in Hollywood. Then she follows up with this PR'd article in Us Weekly saying she's the nicest boss in the world.
Oh my God!
Only for the Daily Beast to hit back with more staff members calling her a demon with psycho moments. So finally, America is finding out about the real Meghan Markle. Fact that you and I have known about for some years. What's your take on it all?
Oh, Dan, I love it. Because also, you see, I was told that Meghan and her people, her
Stop it.
ideas people, I need to say that to sort of muddy the waters slightly, but Meghan and her people are the ones who came up with the idea of, oh, well, there's too much going on.
Okay.
That's very awkward, that people are asking awkward questions about various things with me. And so I think what I need to do is reintroduce a subject that we have already made, that has already made me
Wait for it.
a victim, and that it will be a rerun. And just as how the last time I was able to say, well, I was a victim and I'm really innocent, and the palace and the royal family and the British establishment are
Here it comes.
the ones who were working me over, we'll do it again. And my understanding is that she, in quotation marks, is the person who set up the whole thing.
Are you serious?
So that there would be a rerun of the, oh, Meghan's not really a bully, but they're accusing her of being a bully. Because remember, the last time she said it was an orchestrated, I think she said.
What?
She didn't say orchestrated, but the word was orchestrated. A calculated smear campaign is what she said. And evidently, she set the ball a-rolling, thinking that the Hollywood Reporter, which has always been very pro her, was going to go along with her take on the whole thing. Instead of which, what they did was they investigated. But it's telling that the story has links to people who still work.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
With Meghan.
So it's backfired spectacularly then, hasn't it? Because
Brilliantly.
I mean, the Daily Beast article, Lady C, was arguably
Wait for it.
the worst yet. I mean, one staff member saying there were definitely bad, even psycho moments. I witnessed people being chewed up in person and over the phone.
Are you serious?
And made to feel like shit. Apparently, she would scream down the phone at a florist. That was just normal behavior for Meghan. And it just feels like this is getting worse and worse and worse because there are so many people who are furious. I mean, including, by the way, this person who worked with Meghan in the run-up to the wedding, who said, I always thought she was a classic narcissist, and getting her staff to tell a magazine how amazing she is only confirms that in my mind. She is lovely when it is all going her way, but a demon when the worm turns. And
Are you serious?
your reporting has always backed up that personality trait, hasn't it?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you know Tom Sykes, who wrote that article. Do you know Tom?
Yes, from the Daily Beast, and he's a very well-connected man.
He is extremely well connected. The Sykeses are one of the most eminent families in this country, and he is super well connected. Wow! And he's also a great guy, very decent. And, you know, when he picks up the phone and speaks to people, they will tell him the truth. And what's really
Are you serious?
interesting about this is that the Daily Beast has for years been very pro Meghan. And any attempt for anybody on the Daily Beast to
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
actually give a very measured story was resisted by the senior management, but no longer. They're now interested in just the truth.
That's
And
what's so interesting.
Are wonderful, you know. But I mean, you and I both know that she has the most rotten reputation